Imagine this. A humid jungle clearing in the southern Philippines 2019. 6 British SAS operators, the most elite special forces unit on the planet, stand in full kit, smirking, cracking jokes about how this is just a paid holiday. Across from them, 6 Filipino soldiers from the Light Reaction Regiment and the Naval Special Operations Group. No one outside the room is supposed to know what happens next. The Brits call it a gentleman's exchange. The Filipinos call it Tuesday. By the end of the week, the scoreboard reads 6-0, and the most feared regiment in NATO gets absolutely undeniably humiliatingly smoked. This is the story the British Ministry of Defence still refuses to put on paper. But every operator who was there will never forget. Stay until the end because the final round is so brutal that one SAS trooper allegedly asked for his GoPro footage to be deleted forever. Let's go. It started with a whisper in 2018. The British SAS and SBS had been running counter-terrorism training packages all over Southeast Asia, after the Marawi siege proved that ISIS had a new playground. Manila wanted the best instructors money could buy, and London wanted to keep the Americans from getting too comfortable as the only game in town. So the UK Ministry of Defence quietly sent a joint SAS-SBS training team to Fort Magsaysay in Palawan. The Filipinos were grateful, the Brits were confident, a little too confident. One SAS warrant officer, we'll call him Tomo because that's what everyone called him, was overheard in the mess hall saying, "Look, mate, these lads are tough, I'll give them that, but they've never been to Hereford. We're going to give them the full selection experience and watch them fold like origami." The Filipino side wasn't supposed to hear that. They did. And the Light Reaction Regiment doesn't forget. Fast forward to April 2019. A friendly force-on-force competition is arranged. No live rounds, simunition only, red man suits, full contact. Best of 6 serials. The Brits accept immediately. They even pick the events, thinking it gives them home field advantage. The events they chose were jungle patrol ambush and counter-ambush hostage rescue in a kill house long-range sniper duel, direct action raid on a mock ISIS compound, close quarter battle room clearance gauntlet, final event, King of the Hill, last team standing, no rules except don't die. The British team is stacked. 2 guys from 22 SAS B Squadron, 2 from G Squadron, and 2 SBS boys who've done more maritime boardings than most navies have ships. Average time in regiment, 11 years. They're rocking Cry-Precision uniforms that cost more than a Filipino lieutenant's annual salary. Brand new Virtus body armor. L119A2 carbines with suppressor vibes, the works. They look like a Call of Duty loading screen. The Filipino team? 3 from the Light Reaction Regiment, the unit that actually retook Marawi building by building while outnumbered 10-1. 2 from NAVSOG, and 1 quiet sniper from the Scout Rangers nobody can pronounce the name of. Their kit is a mix of hand-me-down US gear, locally made plate carriers, and a couple of M4s that have seen more flights than a Cebu Pacific plane. On paper, it's not even a contest. Day 1, Serial 1. Jungle ambush, the Brits are the patrol. The Filipinos are the hunters. Rules. First team to get 50% casualties loses. The jungle is Palawan. Thick, triple canopy, 95% humidity. Leeches the size of your thumb. The SAS boys move like ghosts. Perfect bounding overwatch, textbook peel-outs, hand signals so crisp you could cut paper with them. They're humming Sweet Caroline under their breath because that's what SAS do when they're bored. 23 minutes in, the point man hears a twig snap. He freezes. Nothing. He gives the all clear. That's when the world explodes. The Filipinos don't open with gunfire. They open with noise. A screaming wall of air horns and firecrackers tied to paracord rips through the canopy. The Brits spin, trying to work out where the hell that came from. While they're disoriented, 2 LRR operators pop up from spider holes they dug the night before. Holes the Brits literally walked over twice, and start hosing them down with simunition. In 8 seconds, 4 out of 6 SAS are dead. The remaining 2 try to break contact. They run straight into a punji pit covered with palm fronds. Not real punji stakes, obviously, but the drop is 2 meters onto packed dirt. Both roll ankles. Game over in under 10 minutes. Score Philippines 1, UK 0. The British team leader requests an immediate reset, claiming, "That wasn't fair, you used PSYOPs." The Filipino captain just smiles and says, "Brother, ISIS in Marawi used the exact same trick with cell phone ringtones. Welcome to our TED Talk. If you're enjoying how this is already going sideways for the most elite unit in the world, hit that subscribe button right now, because it only gets worse for them. Way worse." Trust me, you don't want to miss round 5. Serial 2. Hostage rescue. This is supposed to be the SAS wheelhouse. Hereford Kill House, the legend. The place where speed, aggression, and surprise was basically invented. The compound is a 2-story concrete school with 14 rooms, 8 role players as hostages, 12 enemy. First team to rescue 7 out of 8 hostages and exfil wins. The Brits go first to set the benchmark. They breach like a music video, flashbangs syncing with the beat of their footsteps. Room after room falls in seconds. They pie off corners like geometry professors. Time, 4 minutes 41 seconds, 7 hostages safe. 1 civilian KIA because the SBS guy double-tapped a role player holding a Nintendo Wii controller. Close enough, they strut out like rock stars. Tomo actually says, "That's how you do it on planet Earth, lads." Filipino team steps up. No nodding, no trash talk, just a quiet hooah, they breach. But something's different. They're not flowing like water. They're flowing like tsunami. Corners aren't pied, they're owned. One LRR operator literally runs up a wall, plants a foot on a doorframe, and shoots 2 enemy role players from above the door before they even look up. Another guy transitions from rifle to pistol so fast the GoPro can't keep up. They clear the entire building in 2 minutes 58 seconds. All 8 hostages alive, 0 blue on blue. The British range safety officer is speechless. He finally mutters, "What the hell was that?" Filipino team leader shrugs. "We trained with your old regimen, then we trained in Marawi with real bullets. Same, but different." Score 2-0 Philippines. By now the Brits are quiet. The smirks are gone. Someone deletes the Sweet Caroline playlist. Serial 3. Sniper duel. 1,000-meter jungle lane, 5 targets each. First to 5 confirmed hits wins. Wind is gusting 12-18 kph. Rain coming sideways. The British sniper team is using Accuracy International AXMCs with Schmidt and Bender scopes that cost more than a brand new Toyota. The Filipino sniper? A scout ranger they just call Sir. Nobody knows his real name. Rocking a locally remanufactured M24 with a scope held together by what looks like hope and electrical tape. Brits shoot first, 4 out of 5, miss the 5th because of a mirage shift. Solid shooting, respectful nod. The Filipino sniper steps up. He doesn't lie prone. He sits on a log Filipino style, legs crossed like he's waiting for a jeepney. First shot, clang, second shot, clang. Third, fourth, fifth, all under 30 seconds. He stands up, slings the rifle, and walks away before the range officer even calls the hits. The British spotter just says, "What the actual fuck?" Later, someone asks the Filipino sniper how he called the wind so fast. He answers in perfect English, "Easy, sir. I just remembered how the wind felt the day my brother got shot in Marawi. It was the same wind. You could hear a pin drop in that jungle." Score 3-0. At this point, the British liaison officer tries to call the whole thing off, citing uneven training hours. The Filipino colonel smiles the scariest smile you've ever seen and says, "No problem, sir. We still have 3 events left. You can forfeit if you want. We'll understand. The SAS do not forfeit. You do not forfeit against people you called weak. That's not how the regimental cloth is cut." Serial 4 direct action raid. Night pouring rain. Mock ISIS compound with 22 role players, reinforced defenses, tunnels. Both teams attack from opposite sides at the same time. First flag on the roof wins. The Brits move like poetry again. NVG's IR lasers painting the night green. They drop 4 sentries silently, breach the main building. Everything is going perfectly, until they hit the tunnel system. The Filipinos had spent the night before digging extra tunnels the Brits didn't know about. Half the SAS team disappears underground chasing shadows. The other half gets pinned by PKM machine guns firing simunition so fast it sounds real. Meanwhile, the Filipino team isn't even using NVGs half the time. They grew up in barangays with no electricity. Darkness is home. They ghost through the wire, plant satchels on the main gate for distraction, and 2 NAVSOG guys literally swim through a drainage canal full of garbage to come up inside the compound. One LRR operator climbs a coconut tree with a grenade launcher and starts lobbing sim rounds like it's NBA Finals. Filipino flag goes up on the roof while half the SAS are still lost in tunnels looking for an exit that doesn't exist. Score 4-0. The British team leader throws his helmet on the ground so hard the GoPro cracks. Someone records him screaming, "This isn't training, this is a bloody execution." Serial 5. CQB gauntlet. This one is personal. 6 rooms, infinite respawn enemy. Lowest time wins. The Brits want redemption. They load fresh mags, tape up knuckles, put on their war faces. They run the house like men possessed. Explosive breaches, perfect flow, no hesitation, final time 47 seconds. Best run ever recorded on that range by any visiting force. They are panting, bleeding from simunition welts, but proud. 47 seconds. Unbeatable Filipinos step up. The same quiet hua. They don't put on helmets. They take off their shirts. 6 barefoot dudes in PT shorts and dog tags. Go. What happens next is still shown in slow motion to new LRR candidates as motivation. They move like they're dancing to a song only they can hear. One guy slides across the floor on his knees, shooting 2 targets while sliding. Another vaults through a window, rolls, and double taps a pop-up before he even stands up. The final room has 4 enemy and a hostage. The lead Filipino doesn't shoot. He sprints, tackles the hostage to the ground, covers him with his body, and screams, "Clear!" while the other 5 team members pie the room and drop all 4 in under 2 seconds. Time, 29 seconds. The British instructor checking the timer literally drops the stopwatch. 29 seconds, barefoot, no helmets. And they protected the hostage with their own bodies like it was real. The SAS team just stands there. One of them starts slow clapping. Then the rest join in, because at this point it's not even competition anymore. It's a masterclass score 5-0 final event. King of the Hill. No rules except stay inside the 100x100 meter box. Last man standing or last team with all members wins. Both teams start with 6. Unlimited respawns, but every time you get shot you have to run a 200-meter penalty loop before you can re-enter. It's exhaustion warfare. The Brits know this is their Alamo. They form a tight wagon circle on top of the hill. Overlapping fields of fire, claymores made of concertina wire and smoke grenades. They are not losing 6-0. Not today. The Filipinos don't attack. They disappear. 10 minutes pass, nothing. The Brits start getting nervous. Then they hear it, a faint sound in the distance, singing. Someone is singing Lupang Hinirang, the Philippine national anthem, off-key but loud. The Brits look at each other. What the hell? That's when the first Filipino walks into the kill zone. Alone, hands up. No weapon, just walking straight at them singing. The Brits hesitate. You don't shoot an unarmed man in training, right? That hesitation costs them. The other 5 Filipinos have crawled through elephant grass and are already inside the British perimeter. They pop up like demons, simunition chaos. In 45 seconds, all 6 Brits are dead and running penalty loops. By the time they get back, the Filipinos have built their own defensive circle, using the Brits' own smoke grenades and wire. 15 minutes later, the Brits are gassed. Legs like jelly. The Filipinos still singing, still smiling, still winning. At the 22-minute mark, the last SAS operator makes a heroic lone wolf charge with a smoke grenade in each hand, screaming for king and country. A 5'0" navsog guy steps out of a bush, trips him like a soccer player, puts a simunition round in his chest from 2 meters, and says in perfect English, "Sorry, Po." Bell rings. Final score, Philippines 6, United Kingdom 0. The British team doesn't shake hands immediately. They just sit on the ground staring at nothing. One of them is crying, not from pain, from pure exhaustion and humiliation. The Filipino captain walks over, offers a bottle of water and says, "You guys are amazing. Seriously, you made us better today. Salamat." That's when the dam breaks. The SAS guys finally stand up, hug it out, real embraces, no macho bullshit. Someone starts laughing, then everyone is laughing. Because sometimes you get beaten so badly the only thing left to do is respect the hell out of the people who did it. Epilogue. The British after-action report was 1 paragraph long. Training objectives met. Mutual respect achieved. Recommend increased joint exercises. Translation: we got absolutely smashed and we're never talking about the details. But the Filipinos talk quietly. In bars in Quezon City and Zamboanga, you'll hear old LRR guys tell the story with a grin and a San Miguel. And if you ask the sniper what his real name is, he'll just smile and say, "Doesn't matter, sir. We don't fight for names. We fight for the guy next to us." 6-0, never forget. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how the arrogant British SAS learned that sometimes the most dangerous people in the room are the ones who smile, say "yes, sir," and then absolutely destroy you with kindness and superior violence. If this story of ultimate respect earned in the hardest way possible fired you up, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because next week, we're dropping the insane true story of how a single Filipino Marine held off an entire Abu Sayyaf company for 6 hours with nothing but a radio and a bad attitude. See you there. Mabuhay.